Hey everyone, this is Daniel Gonzalez. I recorded this video on Instagram Live to make this little postcard, a little color sketch. I used gouache on paper and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, let's see what to do. Well, today I'm going to go ahead and do a little gouache painting of a little cowboy getting on a horse, I guess. Hello everybody, thanks for joining. I'm just going to be painting along with my gouache paints here. I have poor connection because the internet's not that great. I'm in my garage. All right, so let's just get to it. Let's see. Horses are kind of a square. And this is just going to be a little sketch. So let's see. It's actually a long head right there. And the withers, the shoulder right there, the head. I've been enjoying learning horse anatomy, learning how to draw them from memory. Already I can tell the legs are going to go off the canvas or off the paper, but that's okay. I don't need to include them. This is just a little postcard that I'm going to be painting. Let's see. And I actually haven't used this paper before for painting with gouache, but I think it'll be good. So let's see. A saddle. You have like a horn here. A smaller saddle for a little cowboy. Straps on the belly. A blanket. And I saw this picture on Instagram from one of the ranchers down in southeastern Arizona. And I just liked it. I feel like it reminded me of when I was little, getting up onto a horse with a large stirrup. It was a big step. I don't know if you've ridden a horse before. Getting on a horse takes a bit of effort. I think a hat would look good, like right there. And that's the little kid's back. Need to make it back smaller. Otherwise, it's not going to be that little. All right. Kind of cartoony. Sunset. All right. Yeah, I like this. I'm just making the line a little darker to help guide me. The ear of the little kid. You don't really need to see the face, just the back of the collar. That elbow coming out, it's like right there. The wrinkles of clothes are like loose muscles. So that's how you can draw wrinkles of clothes. And let's see. It's getting there. I think the weather, it's so windy outside. That's why I have a poor connection. We'll see if I save this video. Foot in the stirrup. And this other foot, stepping up. So it's kind of kicking out just a little bit from the knee. And that saddle is actually going to be sticking out. The blanket. Yeah, I'm going to make the horse a lot bigger. Instead of a pony, I make it a full-grown horse. That'll make the step up look even longer. Something like this. Ears forward. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Just drawing here. Still looks like a pony, I think. A little guy. I think I can lengthen the neck, make it a little bigger. Hello, hello, welcome. Drawing a horse here. A little cowboy getting on a horse. On a little horse. The reins like that. Oof. I don't like that proportion. The head looks way too big. Jeez. Oh no, I scratched the paper. All right. Maybe something like that. It's like a kite on the forehead here, looking at it from the side. So you can have like the eye right here. Or at least that's how I kind of picture it. The ears. The masseter muscle right here of the horse. Cheekbone. Nose. They have lips. Chin. Hair. I love the hair of a horse right there. It always looks so cool. Okay, I think that sketch is good enough for me to start playing around with paint. Alright, I'm gonna use this brush. It's a 1/2 inch brush. And some gouache. I kind of want this to be like a night scene, or like sunset, like late in the day. I can paint the horizon line like a little low. And it'll be like orange right here, and then like a turquoise. I can balance it out, put in a cloud, like maybe a moon. I can put a moon. Why not? I like the moon. Cool. All right. Wish me luck. Here goes. Oh, I gotta see. Let's see. I want this to be thick with gouache. So I'm using like, what is this? Brilliant Jean. It's like a little orange here. I could tilt the camera and show you guys. Let me see. Leave the camera alone, I guess. There we go. And gotta get my white. And put white up here because I'm gonna use a lot of it. And when I paint with gouache, I like for it to be from the tube. When you leave it like this and you re-wet it, it's more like watercolor. So these clouds are gonna be darker because there's light behind them. And I'm gonna paint the background first. And these mountains are gonna be like a darker blue. So I'm gonna get cobalt blue. And keep my palette pretty limited between, I got like a blue-green, a blue, and an orange, and a white. And I think that's about all I need are those 4 colors. All right, here goes. Oh, and black. I'm gonna have to tint some of these colors a little darker. Oh, I guess I should use red too, because it'll give the tint, because I'm using so much blue, it'll give the tint a little bit of warmth, a little bit of temperature. Chinese red, no. I want alizarin crimson. I don't have a tube of it. There it is. Cool. Let's do this. So yeah, I got black, blue, green. Here, I could just show you. So ignore these in the middle. I'm using black, blue, blue-green, alizarin crimson, orange, and white. So 1, 2, 3, 4 colors and black and white. I'm gonna try and keep it limited to those colors. I might put some accents down later. Okay, so the sky. I'm going to mix some white and blue and blue-green. Yeah, I like that color. And it's gonna go down to an orange. And the way I'm applying it is not using a lot of water. It looks watery, but I am pretty generous with the pigment. I'm not watering it down a whole lot. And I like these chunky little square applications that I'm doing. And I'm using a big brush. You don't want to do the details first. You want to do those details last. For those of you not familiar with gouache, it's an opaque watercolor. Well, opaque water medium. Because it's opaque, I could just paint over that area, but I like the brilliance that the paper adds to it. I guess I could just paint over that cloud and just know that I'm painting a cloud there. Oops. This is just a little sketch for what might be a painting later. I'll probably send this as a postcard to somebody. I like sharing my art in the mail. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so this is actually going to be getting lighter towards the bottom, so I'm using my thumb just to just to wipe off some of the paint there. So the paper's buckling a lot right now. Yeah, hello everybody. You know, if you have any questions, you could just ask them, and I hope I'll get to them. I'm not the best at setting up all this video and everything. I'm in my garage using my phone, so be gentle with the critiques. Let's see. Yeah, that's like a nice nocturne light, and as the blue gets down, the gradient's kind of, it's darker up at top, and it's going to get lighter. So I'm going to go back up at top with a little bit of red, a little bit of alizarin crimson, and ooh, too much alizarin. And I'm going to darken the top just a little bit in patches like that. Cool. And then towards the bottom, I'm going to lighten it up with white. So blue and blue-green, lightening up with a little bit of white. And I can blend those just a little bit. With gouache, you kind of have to work a little quickly, just because gouache will dry. It will dry a little different than what it looks like coming out of the tube. It'll dry a little darker. All right, so orange. And this orange I'm gonna mix with white, really. I don't know if you could see that. Oh yeah, you could see it a little. White and that blue, which will make it kind of a gray. Yeah, just a subtle little bit of orange. I can brighten it up a little bit more if I want. There it goes. Hey El Charro. Good to see you again, man. Let's see. Really subtle with the orange. You don't want to, like, I don't know, have it be a totally different color. You want it to kind of be in the same family, at least with the value. All I'm trying to suggest is that there's a little bit of sun setting going on, and just with the subtle hint of color, a little brilliance, just more white actually. When I'm painting, I rarely use the color just like right out of the tube. It's usually a lot of mixing colors. That's why you gotta learn your color theory. I used to teach color theory. I used to teach, or sorry, I shouldn't say that. I used to teach art. I used to teach ceramics, painting and drawing, Photoshop, photography, darkroom photography, and digital. All right, time to paint the mountains in the background. And I'm gonna use some blue. Why not? Just have fun with that complement of the blue and the orange. The edge can be a little watered because it's so far off in the distance. And this is just a little sketch, a little study for a what could be a larger painting. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. Still brooding, thinking a lot about a series I want to do. And I figure, while I'm thinking about it, I can at least produce some cool postcards. So you can see the landscape now. You got the sky, the horizon line, the foreground that's pretty ambiguous here. Let's see, that'll be a stirrup, and I could have like a belt hanging down, like right there. Actually, it'll be more like right there. Oh, what the heck. The horse is going to be pretty dark, along with the little cowboy, because it's pretty much in the silhouette. Alright. Changing my brush from this 1/2-inch brush to... I want something with a point. Like a little round brush, maybe? Not too small. Something like this. This is a 5. Oh, sorry. There we go. Not quite into the details yet. This silhouette actually doesn't look like a horse. It looks like a donkey, I think. All right. A dark hat for the little guy. Real dark. I can add a rim light to the hat later. And I'm using a limited palette. What that means, I got 4 colors: orange, red, blue, and a blue-green. And I'm using black and white to tint. So, I mean, the things you get with a limited palette is, if you can mix the colors right, you get some cohesiveness. I always try and add a little bit more red to ears and hands and noses and such. What color shirt should this guy have? I'm thinking something that will, I don't know, like a reddish pink or blue. I think a red will turn a little purple in this light, but it'll look good. Need more color. Gotta be a little bit more generous with the paint. There we go. It's kind of soupy. And then the pants can be almost black. Almost black. I'm gonna put a lot more blue in there. It looks dark right now, but when it dries, you'll see a little bit more of the blue. as well use some of this blue to add some shadows. So you can kind of see the position. This little guy getting on the horse. Hello, Army Pants. Thanks for joining. All right, now to paint the horse, or donkey, whatever you want to call it. I think if it's a horse, this needs to extend a little further. Let's just play with it. All right, it's just a sketch, so that's my artist disclaimer. It's just a sketch. I'm not spending a whole lot of time. Please forgive me of all my mistakes. All right. Okay. There's a little bit of white in the brown. I'm gonna add some red and orange. I'm gonna mix all the colors together and get this nice brown. A little bit more red. Okay. Cool. And I guess I'll start with the face, yeah. I've been really enjoying studying horse anatomy lately. My goal is to learn how to draw them without reference. And so you might be able to tell I'm not using a reference right now. And that's fine. I saw a picture like this on Instagram. Let's see. I guess I can add some of the hair, more hair on this side. And then play with the shadows a little bit more. Since the background is so cool, I'm gonna warm up some of these shadows. It's interesting studying horse anatomy. It's like pretty similar to us. If we were bent over, like on all fours, I guess. They don't have collarbones. Their shoulders, their arms are held together to their torso with cartilage and muscles. No bone connection. So yeah, I'm just filling in the horse right here. Like that's where the blanket is underneath the saddle. The hair. I could paint over the reins right there. And I'll give a couple straps down for the saddle. One there, maybe with the belt hanging down. I don't know if I want that though. It might not look good. And you could think of this purple brown as a base color that I'm going to build on. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Oops, that was real wet. Let's see, sometimes I'll do a little underpainting and like the hair here for the horse. I can do a little bit of red. Like just do it all red and then I'll go over on top of it with black, and that just adds a little bit of depth to it. I'm gonna put some of the sky colors in the saddle. Sometimes these blankets look really nice and they have cool patterns and stuff on them. Cleaning up the silhouette a little bit. Darkening the foreground down here. A little bit of texture. It's coming together. Not bad for a little sketch. Hey, Elson. How are you doing? I'm just playing around with some gouache on some paper, hoping that it doesn't dissolve too much. Alright. A little cowboy getting on a saddle. Again, I feel like I have to state my artist disclaimer over and over. This is just a sketch. Just a little idea from something I saw on Instagram. I like the pose. A little kid getting on a horse, but it was like bright day, and so here I'm changing that day into something a little bit more mysterious. And then I'm going to be using a lot of darker colors here for the horse, because it's in the foreground. It's the closest thing to the viewer. The eye. I don't want to ruin the eye. I like shadow and the darker landscapes. I feel like there's a lot more options for the imagination. I'm just trying to put in like some of the wrinkles and texture of the pants. This little buckaroo. Got its foot in the stirrup. You won't even be able to see that. So it's getting there. Cool little sketch, huh? I think so. How long have I spent on this? I try not to spend over an hour on these little studies. Otherwise, I kind of disappoint myself. I like the simplicity and the rawness I get when it's a little sketch like this. Ooh, time for stars. I don't know. Those of you that know my artwork know I'm kind of a sucker for stars and night, and so I'm using this paper towel as a very rudimentary mask. Just mask out the areas that I don't want the stars to drip on. There we go. And then I use a little fan brush like this with white and some water to make it a little viscous. You don't want it too thick, or else when you try and sprinkle it, you're going to get lines. And you don't want it too watery, because then you're going to get splatters. So you got to do it just right. And it's just practice. The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at recognizing the consistency. Cool. So that looks nice. and it's almost done. One of the things I'd like to do is make that line along the sunset just a little bit more brilliant. You can see how that looks, and you can draw some of that to tie in this foreground. Say, yeah, it's sunset time. And look at this horse. Pretty rough, but at least a viewer will be like, oh, I get what's going on. Hello, Ashley. Hey, Nate. Good to see you guys. I'm just doing a little postcard here, playing around with some gouache paint, a limited palette. You can see I got black, blue, green, white, orange, and red. I'm not using these in the middle. Just having some fun with the limited palette. Oh, and like I did the highlight from the sunset, I could do the same thing with the lighter blue for the moon, to say like, hey, this is moonlight coming down. Just kind of outlining the figure a little bit better, cleaning it up. I mean, for a postcard, a little sketch. That's really sloppy. Oh my god. I'm still getting used to painting with the phone in front of my face. I don't know, I'm still figuring all this social media stuff out. I feel like God, I just made his hat into a square. Ugh. Alright. Not happy with that. Yeah, I should have just used a finer brush. But that's how it goes. Alright, I think that just about does it. I mean, I can add some kind of texture, some of like, I'm looking at it now and this just looks so flat, just brown like that, brown purple. So I'm going to add some of the sky color. Ooh, that's really not what I meant to do. There. Try and play around with what might be like, you can guess some reflected light or something. But that was too much and too broad. That's why this is a little sketch. So you can figure things out and play around. The masseter muscle. Nose. And horses are just magical creatures, and I grew up around horses on the ranch that my parents had. Just growing up in the West, you see horses and stuff, and I never really was drawn to them, like, oh, I have to paint this horse. But now, after being away from the ranch for so long, it's very nostalgic, and every time I see a horse, I'm like, oh man, I gotta paint that horse. It's so beautiful. It's funny how inspiration revisits you and stuff like that. Oh, I forgot the reins. So, the reins for this horse. Oops, sorry. Let's do like a rope, a little lighter for the bit. Something like that. And then darker, because it's kind of like I should just use a finer brush. I have one here. Something like this is nice for a little line. What is that? 2 out of 0. All right. Okay. So something like cool. That's fine. That's a nice little painting. And I'd use a blow dryer to dry it a little bit. And then I'd take off the tape, and then you have a little postcard there. Something quick. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, and this is my website. It's a link in my bio where you can see original artwork, prints, and merchandise. So check it out if you get a chance. It's right there in my bio. Yeah, I think this is dry enough to take the tape off. I like that. You can get the nice clean line going all the way around. Hey, Kindle. All right. You gotta be careful when you're taking off your tape. You never know if, I mean, sometimes you'll know if it's stuck to the paper really badly and will tear it. But like I said, this is the first time I'm using this paper with a gouache paint. And I'm pretty pleased with it. Even the chunky moon. Actually, I'm gonna soften some of the edges on that moon. I guess I should have left the tape on. Sometimes I'll use because my palette, you can see the palette gets so soupy and messy. It's hard to mix colors in here and have a lot of control. So I'll use a tape on the side, and that allows me to have a little bit more control when I'm mixing colors. Cool. Might even throw a little bit of orange on that. Guess I could do it. Cool. All right. There we go. Done with this little postcard. Little original artwork there. Hope you all enjoyed that. Be sure to check out my website, link in bio. All right. Thanks, guys. Later.